What?
Recording in progress.
Forgot about that. And we are live with the season finale of She-Hulk Aftershow. It's episode 9. I'm assuming it's a season finale, but it could be a series finale. I'm your host, Dimitri Pereira. This is the show brought to you by The Keeg, where we watch literally She-Hulk. Literally right now, we watched it, and now we're going to be talking about the episode that just happened. I can't do this alone. That's why I got co-host Paul Lau. Paul, wave to the camera and say hi.
I am ahead of you, doing an audio test, looping the audio.
Can you hear
yourself?
heard
Everything.
That's the worst. Well, good to have you too, Paul. Thanks for coming on the show.
Great.
We also got special guest for today. We got Jess, a.k.a. Female Peter Parker. What's up, Jess? How's it going?
Good. It's 4 a.m. for me.
It is.
We're vibing.
I'm sorry. Are you
You know what,
okay?
though? We're doing great. This episode was totally worth getting up for, I think.
Yeah.
I hope so.
We're gonna get into the specifics, of course, but like you didn't feel okay. Let's just get an out of 10. How'd you feel about this episode?
Ooh, probably 8 or 9.
Okay, and that's a personal satisfaction sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a good. Paul, do you have a number or not? I'm still ruminating on it. I'm still trying to figure out.
It's going through the brain.
Yeah.
Okay, for the series though, it's 9.5.
The whole series?
For the whole series, and then the last episode was a 9.2. It's really hard because these were really good episodes.
It depends on what you're looking for, right?
Exactly. And then the meta-ness of this, Deadpool who, Ferris Bueller who, mentioning the X-Men, what, full-mouthed, and she sticks her tongue out.
She was so
It was so funny.
Yeah. So, woo!
It's funny you bring up Deadpool because Deadpool's often talked about when it comes to breaking the fourth wall, doing everything, but She-Hulk broke the fourth wall in the comics first.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sure, Deadpool breaks the fourth wall in the movies, but doesn't mean he has a monopoly on fourth wall breaking, right?
Oh, but to the capacity that she's doing it. And some people were oh, well, the first episode she kind of did tongue in cheek. And I'm yeah, it's a slow escalation.
Yeah.
And you're, for the rest of us that are actually enjoying the show, it's not only is there a commentary against the backlash, there's also on top of that other layers of it where she can reset, rewrite, confront the hierarchy of the powers that move the mechanism that is the MCU. Not that she's ever going to meet Mickey Mouse, the actual Mickey
God.
Mouse. It's not South Park.
Right.
But,
yeah,
it's impressive, to say the least.
Jess, what did you want from this show? Going into episode 1, did you have any expectations?
I don't really know. I was excited to see another female character in the MCU, and I wanted, because I didn't read her comics before watching it, so I only knew basically what people on TikTok were saying about her. I guess my biggest expectation was just hoping that they didn't overshadow her with Bruce because he's her cousin and everyone's oh, well, first of all, I always feel Bruce is kind of underloved in the MCU, but he's used only if they're comparing him to another person that people don't like as much. So that's what I was a little bit nervous about.
He gave tacos to Scott Lang. Come on.
Exactly. He's just a big teddy bear. I love him. But I don't know. I feel sometimes people are not Bruce. And then someone's what about this character? And they're nah, Bruce is better.
I definitely think Bruce is underutilized in the MCU, especially Mark Ruffalo's version, right?
Yes.
I like him, and I know people will disagree with me, but I think Angry Hulk is played out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of glad that no, not Infinity War, Endgame, they were nah, we're switching gears. We don't get Angry Hulk anymore. We have Smart Hulk, and that's okay. I want more of that, but you're right that he shouldn't overshadow Jen in her own show.
Yeah. And I think they did like a really good job of handling that. Like he was there, but like, I mean, not only the fact that he left like that, but like, but the episodes that he was in, like, it was like, they were equals in that. Like, it wasn't like Bruce is better than Jen. Like, it was like, they're both Hulks and they're figuring it out, like, which I liked.
Yeah, it's very emotionally tied. And I don't know, when you're talking about Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, it's about anger management, but not the way the movie treated anger management, where anger management is like, well, he's the Hulk, he has to surrender to his urges, and then he just turns into a rage monster. That's what everyone sees, and everyone like celebrates on some, not everyone, but toxic people. But the reality is we've seen him do yoga, he's keeping his brain busy.
Yeah.
And then that cut scene from, was it Infinity War, where he's wearing the suit?
Endgame? What suit?
Oh no, Endgame. Yes, Endgame. There's a cut scene.
The Hulkbuster?
Yeah. Yeah, Infinity War.
Okay, that's Infinity War, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
not the cut. Oh, yeah. The deleted
the CG,
scene.
the deleted scene. Yeah, it's cut.
Well, I heard cut scene like in a video game. Cutscene.
Oh no, it's not a QuickTime event where I'm just like, leave it in the movie. No, the deleted scene where he is just talking to himself and is like, Hulk, no, and then he's like, well, then let's just work together. We can both occupy. And then
and then they break out of the suit. Have you seen that scene, Jess?
Yeah, I do wish they kept that one in.
Yeah,
I feel like it like very much humanizes Bruce in a way that like a lot of people don't look at him that way. You know?
Yeah. Because Hulk, like, notoriously is just like, you won't like me when I'm angry, hiding the anger, managing the anger, but only in a very, like, one-dimensional way. Like, the 70s show was just like, if he gets angry, he's going to turn the Hulk. So just don't be angry.
Great segue to how this show began.
Say that.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. And then the 4:3 aspect ratio and the grain. Oh
yeah,
so
and
the
hair and the outfits.
Oh man, and I don't know, why did she stand like this in one scene? She couldn't move like below her neck.
Why? For what?
It was like they were in different locations, and then she was just like, I don't know. Remember that scene?
I don't remember that scene.
Oh, it's so funny. She's just like on a luge or something like.
I just left her like spamming intelligentsia on like the old computer.
Oh. The screen's this big. It's like two lines.
It's like a word processor, right? Where there was only like one line, but in this one there's like a couple.
On the worldwide internet.
Or the shot of like her and Bruce. And then they're just like,
and Bruce is just standing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just like trying to not, And
then the bodybuilder, I don't know who she is. I need to like look her up after this or right now.
Yeah. Well, because she, it's interesting because she looks like in the comics, the version where she gammas up and she becomes like super buff.
Yeah.
There's like a version of She-Hulk.
It looks like it's drawn by McGinnis. Like
well, I think a lot of it was but like it's like the savage. I think that's why I said Savage She-Hulk, because I think that was like the Savage She-Hulk where she couldn't speak in full sentences. She was just like more of a hulking brute than her normal like She-Hulk persona. But yeah, you're right. The 70s show parody in the beginning or homage, But like even Eric Bana's Hulk was very like one-dimensional, not fully one-dimensional, but like don't get angry. Oh, well, he's angry. He's the Hulk. And then even Edward Norton was kind of like that until Avengers, where he's like, that's my secret. I'm always angry, which is, it's, to show you that like, yeah, you can be angry. It's just how you deal with it. Right. And I think it's interesting that we get a lot of that in this She-Hulk show. It's a lot about her and her problems, and it's internal, and it's supposed to be. The show's point is like it's about her, but then people get upset at the show for not having big old fight scenes and do all that stuff, which this episode was a commentary on. Did you have a thought, Jess?
No, I was just agreeing with you. Like, it's interesting to hear, like, to watch the episodes and then hear people's thoughts on it, because I feel like like your point, like the whole show is about like introducing Jen's character and like going on this journey with her as she like becomes She-Hulk and accepts that part of her. And like, yes, the like what you're saying with the fight scenes, like they had some of it, but that's not the whole point. Like that's not like what accepting that part of her is.
Yeah. I think that it's I'm still processing this episode, but like I feel like they're kind of attacking us on different fronts here, right? Like the people that have been watching this show and just being like, when is there just going to be a big old fight? When are we getting all these like crazy superhero related stuff without understanding the point of the show? And it's okay if you don't like the show because of the point of the show, but it's not a bad show. It's
a different type of show.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And like Andor is a very similar way, right? Like these different, like I'm personally very happy right now because Andor's amazing and She-Hulk is great and they're both trying new things and they both represent kind of a new approach to a different kind of thing. Paul, why are you laughing?
It's just because, look, Andor reminds me of walking home the first time from school without your parents because they forgot. Oh wait, that's only me. I'm kidding. No, it was kinder. It's because like you're doing something on your own without the Skywalkers to, like, or lightsabers. You can get a crystal. It's not the same, but I promise. I believe in you enough. You can just go off and be.
Remember, no
own.
spoilers for Jess.
It's okay.
But it's classically a non-Jedi related story,
it's
right?
just I mean, I'm telling what's not in it. So
See
that's
what's
total
not in
spoiler. But that's how like this is. It is a comedy, and we need to get used to like lighthearted shows like this. Where because like we've already done so many different things with all the other Marvel shows.
Dark and heavy, right? Like
I mean,
Moon
they're
Knight was,
all kind of
yeah.
Oh my god, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight was dark and heavy, right?
Child abuse, trauma. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
And I think like the end of this episode too brought up that point in such a good way of like Jen being like, why is it so like copy paste? Like, what's going on?
Same beats.
I don't want it to be like that.
I love that the Feige bot has his little hat that he always wears.
Of Otto from Wall-E.
Oh.
Have you played Portal? The robot in that, Gladys? Yeah, she's also hooked up to like the ceiling and is this giant eye.
Oh my god.
And so it's
she's the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I know about Portal.
That whole thing. Just like her signing the NDA and like
the scrolling.
Yeah, she was like, oh my god, it's so
and she's a lawyer.
You know who we didn't see in this episode? And I don't think we'll just ever see again is Josh. Like,
what? We did.
Yeah.
He's in this episode.
Wait, he's in the intelligentsia room?
No, he was on the talk show. Oh, no, sorry, Josh. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're thinking about the lawyer.
I'm thinking of the douchey guy.
The
sorry.
douchey lawyer guy. No.
Yeah.
Josh is
the guy that the sex tape thing.
The sex tape thing and he disappeared and like we never see him again.
He's just like
he's a
ghost.
Honeypot spy.
He's a honeypot spy.
You know the honeypot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we all are on board. I watch Archer. That's where I learned that term.
Where did the honey
because he has to be he has to play both sides of the field for that episode. So
Archer?
Yeah, Archer. Wow. And then the guy's not into him and then he gets like kind of rejected.
Sounds like Bob from Bob's Burgers, but I know it's the same. It's literally the same guy. But yeah, like
where's Josh?
Josh didn't show up.
I literally did not even notice that until you guys brought that up. Yeah. Now I'm upset. Where is he?
Well, but I hate him.
Yeah,
I didn't like
there's
him,
no closure. Like what is
it's probably best he's not there for her to kill him because I would kill him. Like seriously, this is revenge
she didn't
porn.
Kill Todd. And Todd is whole king.
Yeah, I mean, he may have orchestrated it, but like Josh and her like had 3 dates. I don't know.
There was a trust involved, a broken trust, and that sucks.
Because it's not like she was ghosted like the first guy, the morning after.
Yeah.
That we see her sleep with in this show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's probably the heaviest offense.
Josh.
Yeah.
Yep.
We believed in him. I was counting
How
on
could
it.
you? I was vibing with him, and then I was hoping that he was just like accidentally tied into everything going on, and then he was not. So
Yeah, no, he was.
But then it all worked out because she got Daredevil. So
I forgot about the fact like she kind of wished him back.
yes,
Feige Bot was so cool about it.
he was like, okay, yeah, we haven't really done it much. Like,
yeah.
I just loved him. Like him eating dinner with her family had the same vibes as like Bucky showing up with the Oreo cake at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Do not talk to my sister that way.
What I want to say what's up to Mr. Plow's here, but Duck Dodger 714 and Ricky Briz 98, who were both there for the Andor after show earlier. And that they're on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show. And so is Mark, who says hi, first time chatter. What's up to Mark? And then I think Mark also went to YouTube, because there's another Mark on YouTube that says hi. So hi all around. Anyway, Daredevil, yes. Matt appears at the end.
From the sky. Well, probably the tree.
It's like,
yeah. It's okay, like something I've talked about, like me in like any other show. I'm such a continuity whore. Like I need continuity in my own head. I need to make it make sense. So it's kind of blowing my brain, like what matters and what doesn't. But is the point that it doesn't need to matter as much?
Yes. Just accept it. Accept that
Except
for a
what?
brief
What am I
second
accepting?
that She-Hulk pops out of it looks like your Disney app crashes. So you go back to the Marvel menu screen. Everything is current, and then she punches out hers, and then she swings down after looking at Black Panther and Shang-Chi, and then she goes to the Marvels. That's so it is very Disney ride-like, but in like a good way,
Yeah.
that was so funny. I legitimately was like, is that how the episode ended? Like what? And then she was like, no. I was like, oh, okay, we're good.
It's funny because it was kind of a copy-paste third act situation. Todd takes the Hulk formula. Then Abomination is still good, but he tries to save Jen. But then Hulk and him start fighting. And then, Titania pops in.
Randomly.
Just like
Randomly.
Titania.
Like, why did she pop in randomly?
Yeah.
All right.
And then Hulk falls from the sky. It's just from space.
Out of nowhere.
Also, now Jen knows, like, with the Feige Bot, she knows that he's in space. She shouldn't know because he's just been missing.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
never said he was in Sakaar or anything like that.
Well, until the end, and when he came back with his kid.
Which I mean, everybody was calling it, right?
Yeah.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Oh, with Scar?
Yeah, he had like maybe you could see his ear while he was being about to be introduced, and then you see him and he's like shaved head. Like,
was he a shaved head? I thought he had.
There was like a weird.
I thought he
curl
had
in
like
the back,
a
like a
bun
bun.
kind of thing with the.
But not like a man bun, you know.
You know those hair bands, and it goes back here. You know what I mean? And it pushes your hair back.
So small on the
Yeah.
screen.
You know what I'm talking about? Jess, yeah, you with me?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. That's what I thought he was wearing, but I don't know because it didn't show
That's what I
much of
thought
him.
too, actually.
He looked kind of himbo-y, kind of.
He does look like one of the biggest Twitch streamers. So
Him and Thor on the weekends. Maybe he's Noob Master 69.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys notice that Hulking, the green logo,
Is Pepe a frog?
Pepe, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned that last week, so I feel like, yeah.
I like how
Poggers.
accurate they were to just the man babies out there.
Oh, Pug's notes from Nikki was so funny. Just start calling women females. He's just like, oh,
Pug's
gross.
a good guy. He doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
He felt
Pug's a
so
class act.
awful.
Yeah.
That act is really good, though.
With the robotic reactions when he's like forcing a reaction and they're like buying it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, women, am I right? Or females, am I right?
Did Jen bone hallway? Yes, say yes. Yeah. And I'm upset about it. Oh,
It makes me so angry.
dude, I knew it, man. I knew Pug was the guy. You're really vibing.
And also how he, like, when Nikki was making him wear that AirPod, and he was like, I'm going to be the only one. She was like, don't worry about it. And literally, he is the only one.
Is he the only one?
Even notice.
Yeah. It was a super douchey thing to do when they first came out, the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I knew several guys that would wear it, wearing suits, and I'm like,
well, yeah,
he's not
classic,
talking.
Like
Entrance, yeah. And we'd be like TJ Fridays. It was like punk band.
Sorry. Yeah, you need a close, and you need a sell. I don't know that. I'm not one of those guys.
Better than more convincing. Normally they would just do, okay, cool. Let's do lunch. All right.
Who are they pointing to?
Well, because they're in the
line at
the Wolf of
Starbucks?
Wall Street. Yeah, but they're like, I'm always making wins. Gotta fake it till I make it.
ABC.
Don't say that outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's funny how accurate those man babies are in the way they write the intelligentsia. Like, she didn't earn it, I earned it. Like, it's the same people that are like, you only got here because of affirmative action. It's that type of mindset. Like, they're good at what they do. Like, like, a woman doesn't deserve her place because, like, obviously there's some other force out there, that puts her above you. I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, the nepotism thing is a normal complaint about upcoming Ironheart, where they're like, "Who is she? Where'd she just randomly came around?" It's like
that's not like nepotism for who?
No.
The actress.
No. They prefer nepotism, but when they want to criticize someone, it's nepotism.
Oh.
So, like, if it's a female that's related to them, like a cousin, like Supergirl, they'll be like, "Oh, it's nepotism."
Like, why doesn't Morgan Stark become Ironheart?
Exactly.
Why does Riri Williams become Ironheart?
It's like she's an accomplished, brilliant MIT engineer.
Yeah. And Morgan Stark's like 7 at most.
Yeah, she's like a child.
She's still kind of, she's wearing her mom's like rescue
suit
helmet. Yeah.
Duck Dodgers brings up a good point. They dropped a lot of random things in this episode that make you go, what is real? For example, Duck Dodger 714 says, did they tease a solo Hulk movie when they said wait for the movie?
That's true. I didn't even think about that. I was trying to I was trying to figure out if they were talking about like a solo Hulk movie or Secret Wars or Jen's solo, but then they said the thing of like when Jen was like, oh, see you on the big screen, and he was like, no.
No.
Yeah. I think they did tease a solo Hulk movie, and my original theory for this season finale was incorrect, except for the fact that they brought Scar in. That was part of my theory. But my other theory might still come to fruition. And that theory is, so, like, Marvel and Universal have, like, their rights tied together with the Hulk. And that's why the Hulk can't get a solo movie without Universal's approval, but he can be used in other things. My theory from this show was that instead of doing a Hulk solo movie, they would do a Scar Son of Hulk, thus getting around the legal odds and ends, and say it's not a Hulk movie. It's literally in the title. It's a Son of Hulk movie. It's not a Hulk movie.
Yeah, I could see them doing that.
And then they do a Scar movie, and then they have Bruce be the father in it, obviously, and then you get your cake and you get to eat it too.
With flashbacks.
With flashbacks.
Yeah. Duck
'Cause we're
Dodger
gonna
says
need
the
them.
context was he was going to share something about himself, but she told him to wait for the movie.
Oh, I must have missed that part.
What was that in when he's...
It's not when they're fighting. Oh no, it is when they're fighting,
It
right?
is when they're fighting.
Okay, with the abomination. Interesting.
Yeah. But he's trying to say that Scar was born. That's what he tried, like the Scar thing, right? I think there's a movie in the works. But maybe, that's my theory. Scar, son of Hulk. You heard it here first.
There we go. I'm hoping it's true. I would love to see it. I've wanted a Mark Ruffalo like solo Hulk movie. He works so hard. He deserves it.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say you want a Mark Ruffalo. And I want a Mark
that
Ruffalo.
too.
Yeah. But I like Mark Ruffalo. He's so cute. He's just like...
He really
he's just
is.
the nicest Bruce
vibes.
Banner. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they drop X-Men as a thing. Like, I don't know what to believe.
I know. There was so much.
There was.
Yeah. I think Feige is a parody of the Netflix algorithm that created House of Cards. And so...
Was it actually an algorithm?
Yeah.
That created House of Cards?
Yeah. They plugged into who is the most... Or what are people interested in? The seedy underbelly of top
Washington?
searched. Yeah. Of politics. And then Kevin Spacey came up as one of the names for like a show.
Yeah.
And then they just wrote it based on that. Filled in the rest.
It sounds like when South Park did the Family Guy episode where they were like, who writes Family Guy?
Manatees with balls.
With the balls that have different words on it, and they just string those together. Kind of like that.
The writer's room was really interesting because that like looked like the realest writer's room.
So I noticed some of them. So one of them is Jessica Gao, who is the director or producer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like
Daredevil villain.
Not Madame Gao. Not Madame Gao. Jessica Gao. But I noticed writer Cody Ziegler. Because I knew his face because he was on a podcast that I had listened to. Cody Ziegler is the new writer for Miles Morales' Spider-Man comic. So I guess he's on the writer's room for this show, but he's also going to be writing Miles Morales #1 coming out soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's been writing Spider-Punk recently, and he's going over to Miles Morales.
Love Spider-Punk.
Do you? Are you a Spider-Punk fan?
He's cool.
Yeah.
I've only read like one comic with him in it, but he was legit.
Is it because you like guitars and stuff?
Probably. He's just like a cool dude, you know? He just like fights everybody with like
I know.
sound waves. Like
Yeah. The spiky mohawk and
yeah.
I think it's weird though, right? Like music and comics when you're like there'll be like lyrics with like musical notes on the thing and then I'm like what's the okay, now I have to like hear Britney Spears to know what Deadpool's making fun of or something.
Did you guys Did you guys hear about the new Spider Princess?
I just bought that issue like the other day actually.
I forget what's her name. It's
Princess Petra.
Yeah, but she has a spider name. It's
a spinstress.
Spinstress, right?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. They got a Broadway singer, I think she used to play Jasmine on Broadway, to sing that song in it, and it actually is a song. And
It's
like,
so cool.
I don't know if did you hear that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really they did like a really good job. There's like 2 or 3 other songs in there that they didn't record, but I like hope they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's really cool. Shout out to Albie 2005 saying amazing episode in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering like what are the haters going to say?
I know.
What are the haters going to say? They're just going to be like it's a waste of my time, right? That's going to be the nicest
they'll
thing
pull
they say.
they'll pull a full 180 and be like this was the best show I've ever seen.
Some of them have already pulled 180s though.
This show was the best.
Yeah.
After the whole other 8 episodes, they were like, I'm only watching for Daredevil. I can't.
It's like
This is the worst show.
It's like the trope of like at the end of the movie, like the bully cries and like shows emotion for whatever. It's kind of like that. It's like she was so pure. Jen Walters was so pure, and none of those men respected her. And it's like, you were talking shit on her last week.
Yeah, like, sir, let me pull up the receipts.
I always want the trolls to have an epiphany, have that moment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But we know better. They're the CinemaSins guy, and then they get everything wrong, and then they have a crowd cheering for them, which are a bunch of mouth-breathing dudes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunita Sarkeesian, Gamergate, blah, blah, blah. Like, woke garbage. This is the worst show. Like, I love it when that's all they do is they posture, but there's no fact droppage. It's just
You're like, well, why is it the worst show? And they're like, well, you know, it just is.
She had sex. Poor Matt. I'm like, what?
Poor Matt.
Poor Matt.
I mean, great for Matt.
They called it the walk of shame, so obviously that means that he's a submissive or whatever. And like, I'm like, he got laid. He's happy. He's whistling.
Yeah, he also wasn't ashamed. Is the walk of shame just like
You're just going
the walking home part? I think the problem is, and it's not a problem. It's like, what do we want?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just life in general. A question to ask ourselves: what do we want? But also when we apply it to the things that we watch, right? What are we here for? You know, is She-Hulk? If I was like, I guess if I was writing 9 episodes of She-Hulk, would this be the path that I would have charted for the whole season? No. But I didn't write it anyway. It's not my responsibility to do that. What did I want out of She-Hulk? Did you guys get what you wanted out of She-Hulk? Or did you learn that maybe this is what you wanted and you didn't realize it before?
Wait, what is this? Hey, look, I don't have a lot of money and I'm not exactly the most attractive guy, but you know what I can do? I can show up here every morning, mow your lawn, sweep your leaves. And gosh darn it, I'll tell you that you look great and you're going to do a good job today. Okay, I'll leave.
What is that?
It's like the guy that's just like it's a meritocracy.
I may not be your dream guy, but you'll learn to love me.
You may have your pick of the studs out there, but you know what I got? Gumption. I got character.
I don't know where.
I don't know where I was going. I'm sorry. No. I was using an analog about She-Hulk. The show's like, what were your expectations? Did you find out that you end up liking it? And I'm like, for me, I love surprises. I love things being turned on their, side. Yeah. And subverting the
expectations.
Yes, that too. The narratives that are thrown upon it. It was almost like they were keeping pace and then they surpassed Twitter, because we've seen it with Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel and also Miss Marvel and anything female-led, minority-led. And so now it's like, not only if Marvel films are formulaic, so is the response from the trolls. And that's what I like.
They'll bring it back to science. Mermaids
Exactly.
are, I guess, scientifically Caucasian. Like, that's the way they're supposed to be. That's the way God made them. That's like, come on, guys. Be scientific with your mermaids. But like
manatees, they're
Columbus says manatees, they're just as good.
Beluga whales, they're the original mermaids, and they're
manatees
pale.
are
not beluga whales.
No, I'm just like what would you do with a drunken sailor? Well, first off, he's going to be racist. So when it comes to beluga whales and manatees, like,
well, Columbus, I believe, had relations with a manatee.
Bullshit.
That's what people are saying. Columbus had relations with manatees.
I mean, look, I'll believe anything, but that's my reaction. That's my reaction.
No, but like throwing it to science is like a justification for a lot of just troll arguments.
What do you mean, fake science?
Yeah, fake science, right?
Yeah,
but trying to use some pseudoscientific argument, right? Why would, I'm sure, were people saying She-Hulk wouldn't be stronger than the Hulk Because the Hulk has spent X amount of years training his body to ultimate perfection, and She-Hulk has just got it. She can't be, you know what I mean? Same with the mermaids, same with, like, you know, that stuff. Then there's, like, she didn't earn it. We see this with Rey Skywalker. She didn't earn her, like, she didn't train proper with the Force. Why is she so strong? It's both a Mary Sue argument and also, like, we need to see them train on screen argument.
The very beginning.
Which is also used for Shuri.
Yeah.
Why Shuri can't be Black Panther is because when do we see her fight? And it's like, you saw her fight in Endgame. She's
had these moments, yeah.
I don't want to generalize Wakandans, but every Wakandan we've seen has been badass.
So strong.
And then on top of that, the Dora Milaje, I mean, and Shuri's royalty. So I'm sure there's some sort of royal training.
Yeah.
We've seen it in Game of Thrones all the time. The kids right now are getting, sword lessons.
Yeah.
From knights. So,
but they always fall to that same structure, right? There's little almost categories of justification. I
feel like that little, like, the circle in the intelligentsia thing when Todd first shows up, or no, sorry, Pug. When he was, like, walking in, that's literally what they were talking about, too. Like, they were kind of, like, poking fun at people like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they were like, well, I'm not saying it's because if this was a male, I wouldn't,
Yeah. I would say the same thing, right? Didn't he
I would say the same thing. Yeah. And it's like, well, but
you don't.
Like, Bruce is an existent person, and you're not saying that.
Why is there a female Thor? What did they say? Oh, no.
Yeah,
why is there She-Hulk? There's no He-Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, wait.
There's a Hulk.
And I'm not sure, why does there need to be a female Thor? Like, why can't, like, and it's like, wait, what? Yeah. What?
When did you guys know that it was at the commune? Because I knew as soon as I saw the posters and the wood.
I literally had no idea.
I thought I knew when the car pulled up to the gate to enter, and then Nikki and Pug pull behind them.
Mm-hmm.
That gate, I was like, isn't that the same compound as Emil's, right? So like that's when I was like, that was my first question mark. And then like I was like, no. And then I found out later.
And then the wrecking crew guy, he had the helmet on.
The helmet guy, yeah.
Yeah. I really wish.
But the other guy's still chill.
I know.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I'm still confused by him. But okay. Good for him for turning around.
It's a double red herring. Because even when Emil shows up as Abomination,
right,
it's still under the guise of, I'm just trying to, get a bunch of youths to be empowered, still making money.
And he's very broad with his like, never give up. Like, go for what you want. Don't ask for permission.
Yeah, he's definitely not like the other public speakers where they like swear and they're just like, if you don't look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm goddamn it, I'm worth it, I'm not a piece of shit. And those pizza rolls that are sitting on the countertop and go in the trash and get on that treadmill, get fucked. You're worth $1 million.
Are these men public like for the
like a Gary V or a
Is it for like the men conventions though?
No, not for men. It's just like motivational speaker guys. But I've noticed that they've just been like, you're going to pay me $16,000 for a weekend you'll never fucking forget. Strap on, you're a powerful, strong man. Who cares? You love. I'm doing it now.
Yeah, what is going
what
on?
Am I doing? I'm turning off the viewers. I'm so sorry.
What kind of podcast are we now?
Hey, if you guys aren't working 32 hours a day, you slack it. You're not going to make it.
You know what the show was low on? Testosterone. Good thing I have Nugenics here.
Hey,
Trust
guys.
me, I'm a big fan of Nugenics. I have not been paid by Nugenics.
This is not sponsored.
This is not sponsored.
Just really a big fan.
I'm a big fan. There's asterisks. There's little writing at the bottom of the screen.
My protein shake's not complete without reptilian milk. Now, I know what you're saying. Snakes don't have breasts, but you know what they do produce? milk.
Okay.
Get my EpiPen.
Okay.
Josh, or what? His name's Todd, right?
Todd. Yeah.
He shouldn't have been able to turn into the Hulk because of what was explained in the very first episode.
Right. Is that what they? That's what she said, though, right? She was like, "Why?"
Yeah. She
She's
questioned
like, "This doesn't
reality.
make-" Yeah. She's like,
It's
"This doesn't
over
make sense."
contrived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's
Josh gets
like,
power,
kind of
Todd.
close to the super soldier serum, right?
I love that. Yeah, I
All
called him
her
out.
faces are so amazing.
Yeah. I love it. She's so funny.
She's too good.
Lucky animators.
We don't lucky animate.
Oh, that killed me too when they were like, yeah, you have to unhulk yourself because the VFX team is working on another project, and then like the Wakanda music.
And then they're like, oh, but don't transform. Wait till we cut to.
Yeah, wait till we cut the scenes so that we don't have to animate you shrinking. And she's like, okay.
That's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It costs $2,000 or no, $14,000 when they dust a vampire and it turns into a skeleton.
Oh.
Each time they did it. So they're like, okay, well, we'll just make the sound effect after she stabs off screen.
Oh.
An actor. Yeah.
There you go.
They would afford, or they could afford that, but okay.
The show, not the movie.
No, I know the show, but yeah. But I
It
guess
was like
too many would rack up, right?
Yeah.
She like walks into a club, bunch of vampires, they're like, oh, but then they would cut away, right? I would assume.
Yeah. And then they're just like, the craft service is like, you guys gotta go. Nobody's getting fed. Sorry.
The final, did you guys see the final, the end credit scene?
Yes.
It didn't really explain, like, did it do anything?
Wong's on another show or has to go to another show.
No, he said he meant watching a show because he was watching Sopranos.
Oh,
I know. I thought the same thing. I was
Yeah.
Maybe it's a double
Another
meaning.
Yeah, I think it's a double meaning. They left it kind of open.
Maybe it's a double meaning because maybe he's going to be in whatever next show is going to happen. Maybe that's the joke. But I read it as like he got stuck. Like, sorry, he's late. Oh, stuck on another show. I thought of it as Sopranos. But I also thought, yeah, it could be another show he's on. But I was like, I don't know.
No, yours is smarter than mine because I was so used to only Hulk and Jen knowing the fourth wall. But who knows, you know?
Yeah.
I guess Feige bought as well.
Kevin,
Kevin,
Kevin.
knowing
the subtitles
every...
spoiled that, by the way. I don't know if you guys were watching the subtitles.
Oh,
No, I
don't
didn't.
watch
But
with subtitles.
When I always watch with subtitles. I like to read things out with names and stuff, and it helps me memorize them. But when they're in the writer's room and they're talking about Kevin this and Kevin that, sometimes it was acronymed and sometimes it wasn't.
Oh,
And
that's not good.
I'm like,
That's
okay.
interesting.
That spoiled it, but all right.
Yeah.
Or spoiled something. I was like, is this a glitch? Is it a mistake, a typo? Or, and it was, okay. No.
Yeah, the only mistake I saw was no Madison in Werewolf by Night and no Madison in this.
We need Madison to be like the next Stan Lee cameo. She
Every
just shows
monster, every Mephisto clue, I need a Madison just somewhere.
We need more Madison. We need more Wong.
Love her.
Yeah.
They're doing 1 hour specials, right? Because Werewolf by Night, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, they're doing 1 hour specials. Madison and Wong need a 1 hour special.
Oh my, I would so watch that. It's just an hour of them watching The Sopranos, though. We just watched the episode with them.
And then a 10-minute munchie break to Target.
Yes.
And then he's going to be high-fiving people and,
Wong?
you know, Wong. And then mystical creatures, because this is going to be the Carmitage,
Yeah.
are going to come up.
Oh, yeah, because he worked at Target, right?
Yeah. And so he's going to be like, hey, can you help me out? And he's like, I'm not, you know what, I'll help you out. And then he can just like Wong around the Carmitage
Yeah.
of mystical artifacts.
Just portaling things off the top shelf for people.
Yeah. And Archer Farms trail mix.
Yeah.
Can you, oh, young man, can you help me take it out to my car?
Of course.
then Madison's in the back like, Wongers, I found the cheese puffs. We're good. Like, let's
It's
go.
a charcuterie board.
I got the rosé.
Jess, here I want to know your thought. Are Wong and Madison, is it romantic or not romantic? Is it platonic? Best friends?
They're
Kind of?
besties.
Besties?
They're besties,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I just wanted to ask. Everybody seems to agree platonic. Gilgamesh and Thena, though, from Eternals.
That's romantic.
That's romantic. That's definitely romantic.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It's like The Notebook.
Yep.
What's like the note? Oh, the forgetting part. Yeah. I forgot about that part.
We're all just like moment of silence.
I actually never saw The Notebook.
I never saw it either.
I should have said The English Patient, maybe, because Gilgamesh is taking care of her because she's got mental issues. So
dementia, I think, right? Kind of, whatever it was
Mad
called.
Mary or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to rewatch Eternals, actually.
Mad Madison. All right. With a Y, not where you think it is.
As we finish this up, where do we think? Like, what do we? Is this it? Is this a series finale or is it a season finale? I don't think we have word one way or another, but like, do we see a season 2 coming out of this?
I would love a season 2. I feel like if enough people like talk about it after today's finale and like hype it up, there's a chance, maybe. I mean, like, if you look at like Miss Marvel had so much backlash when it was out, and we know for a fact that that's getting a season 2. Yeah. So I guess it really depends on what the Feige bot wants.
Yeah.
Yes. I know Kevin acronym like MODOK, but Feige bot just sounds.
Feige bot sounds better.
Good.
Somebody on TikTok did a statistical breakdown of the scores. They did Rotten Tomatoes first. Did you see that? Rotten Tomatoes scores of Phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. But then they broke down audience score versus critic score on all of it, and then trying to figure out what had the most discrepancy, and Phase 4 has the biggest discrepancy between audience score and critic score. But I think that's super interesting because people are just gonna complain about Phase 4 in general.
I wish we could get more stats because as a comic book, I mean, I'm not currently a comic book reader. I have Marvel Unlimited, but this is just how it is. Like, you're not going to know everything. You're not going to watch every show.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't feel obligated to, you know?
And it's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay if somebody, like, if She-Hulk isn't somebody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
But also, if you're a misogynist, you should probably get that checked up on, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Read Jeff the Shark. Stop rooting for Namor to steal, Sue Richards. Burn your Punisher comics because you're,
That's a different side of, like, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying,
there's a big overlap. Yeah. Like, again, it's okay to critique She-Hulk because I've been seeing a lot of healthy critique of the show.
Sure.
But
it's too short. That's my critique.
It's too short, and I thought it took a while to get into its full vibe for me, like its full like swing. And I think it pretty much starts at the Madison episode is when it actually hits its like stride. The first 3 episodes are like, eh.
Well, the Madison episode was like packed with a lot. I like the first episode just because
I'm telling you, it's A,
fun.
B, and C plot lines.
I mean, yeah, sure. The Titania thing we talked about was like too fast. She had no introduction.
She came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, I've been watching her on Twitter and everything else, and she's more developed in social media as a character than in the show. And that kind of disappoints me because The Good Place is a great show. So,
yeah.
Jamil.
Yeah. Duck Dodger says, I don't know. I loved the whole show. Yeah. And again, none of, like, also when people try to use their commentary to yuck people's yums, That's also not cool. Because, like, sure, you could grade this a 1 out of 10 if you wanted to. But to, like, it's not about yucking people's yums, you know? It's not a 1 out of 10. I'm just saying. A lot of people enjoy the show. Great, you know?
Name a 1 out of 10 show.
A 1 out of 10 show?
Yeah. Can you think of one? I mean, that's hard to put you on the spot.
Like a show that doesn't even deserve to be on... Like, even Big Bang Theory is, like, a 2.
Was it called The Cape on NBC?
I never saw The Cape, but...
They had 3 episodes.
Oh, 1 out of 10 is Heroes Reborn. Or not Heroes Reborn. It's the Heroes show, but when they brought it back for, like, one miniseries season.
The Fox comedy Dads, where they had like a Japanese schoolgirl. Yeah.
Oh, they had Brenda Song in a. That was that one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a 1 out of 10.
But yeah, that series of Heroes, whatever it was called, Heroes Reborn, Heroes Returns, something like that.
I can't give Titans a 1. They have good moments. So.
Titans isn't a 1, but it's
There's.
it fluctuates.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what to expect from season 2. I hope we get meta commentary, but my hope is that we get more of a consistent story and point to a season. That's just me. That's like what I would want. Either way, I'm going to be watching it, and either way, it's not going to be a waste of my time. But would I like a full court procedural kind of show? No, not necessarily. But, like, let's bounce around and try new ideas and try different things and, you know.
Get the ins and outs.
Yeah, but have, like, a kind of, like, a more of a story to it. Instead of the idea of breaking the story. And I definitely think there is a point about, like, Doug Rogers 714 says, there was definitely a point to this season. There is. It was about her. And you know, getting her life in order while she is both She-Hulk and Jen. But, like, if we can have something else also, that's also nice, too.
I think the only shows that are kind of, like, floaty and don't matter are when they're trying to mine for nostalgia. And that's why What If kind of had a lot of misses for me than hits. Because it's always Coulson. Go back to the original Avengers. Remember Avengers?
It was
it's like
remining Phase 1. That was kind of the problem with What If.
Oh, yeah. And, all Phase 1. Yeah.
It was a lot of Phase 1. There was no Phase 4, barely any Phase 3, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, what if Peggy had the, soldier serum and Iron Man was Steve Rogers? And it's like, okay.
And they killed Tony every episode.
Yeah.
They're like, Tony? Oh, just kidding. Oh, you want more? No.
Like, you thought... It's like when the fanboys are like, we know that Iron Man's dead in this universe, but they could always just bring back Robert Downey Jr. as an alternate Iron Man to be Iron Man into this universe. And What If is like, oh yeah, you know those other universes? He's dead there too.
Yeah, they also killed him.
Yeah, you know? But yeah, it was a lot of Phase 1 stuff. That's kind of my problem with What If. That's not She-Hulk, though. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show and talking about She-Hulk. Thank you, Paul, for being co-host for these 9 episodes of She-Hulk.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I love talking, mostly comics, and then deranging on a tangent.
Yeah.
I'm a filler episode all unto myself.
It's so funny, though, all our original ideas for, like, what could happen in this show were very comic book oriented and less about Jen. And maybe this is a lesson to all of us, right? It was our theories were less about Jen and more about, like, what aspects of the comics can we bring into the show?
She hulked out, but she didn't, like, destroy City. So that was one of my predictions.
Oh.
And I thought the Intelligentsia was the guys in the circle, the trust circle at the... And no, I should trust the villains, I guess, is what I'm hearing.
Well, we also were like, are they going to be the Intelligentsia from the comics where it's like actual villains?
Well, they couldn't have top shelf villains. Like
but they could have brought in Egghead. Victor. Actually, Egghead, never mind. Egghead's technically in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. So no leader.
Yeah.
So it'd just be Red Ghost.
Yeah, you could have, but he's a Fantastic Four villain. So
yeah, but he's part of the Intelligentsia. So.
Yeah, but they might keep them from it. Anyway, whatever. Point being is we were trying to mine from the comics, right? And we were trying to like shoehorn in comic stuff, and it's Jen's show, so it should be about Jen, you know. And the antagonists are just the haters. I think it's interesting. Isn't Todd bad enough without being the Hulk? Isn't that what she said?
Yeah. Like the point of him being the villain isn't that he's now superpowered. It's that he's just a bad person.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I do like the edits in real time on that screen. It was like, bloop.
That was
okay.
funny.
Todd's not a Hulk. Okay, Emil, back to.
I hate Todd's face, by the way.
That's why they got him.
Good on the actor, but I hate his face.
We got a King Joffrey situation going on.
He's in the beginning of the 70s intro, right? Isn't he in the beginning?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Isn't he just doing like a
think so.
Smile to the camera? Anyway,
there's going to be a second viewing, maybe a third.
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah.
I
mean, for you, it's 3 a.m. viewing, so or 2 a.m.
No, it's 2 a.m. here. It's 5.
No, for Jess, yeah.
Yeah, 5 for me.
No, but when you viewed it.
Oh yeah. No, I'll take a nap. And I'll wake up and watch it a second.
But, yeah.
And then a third time.
Thank you so much, Jess, for coming on here and talking with us about She-Hulk episode 9. Where can people find you online? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, right now, so most of my tags are female Peter Parker, except for Twitter, it's femme Peter Parker because it was too long, they wouldn't let me. Thank you, Twitter. So yeah, right, like I have my blog, so I'll be writing, I mean, you can watch this obviously, but I'll also be writing my thoughts on the episode today. That's on my website. You can find that in my links tree. But yeah, nothing super major coming up, just plugging away at content, so more skits to come.
You know, I'm a big fan of your content. Like, you do a good job. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Have you done She-Hulk yet or no?
I've done Jen twice.
Okay.
I will be bringing her back. I love doing Jen because the fourth wall breaks are like it's so much fun to do the fourth wall breaks.
Yeah. When I think of all your characters, I think of Tony, I think of Scott, I think of Peter.
Scott just got
They crack me up. You do a great job. So keep up the good work. I want to see more of them.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was great to chat with you both.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm sorry it's so late over there.
It was so worth it. This episode was so good.
Yeah. Thank you everybody out there for watching. If you're watching us live, you're watching the live stream, or maybe you're watching the video but in post. Twitch.tv/The Keeg Show, YouTube.com/The Keeg Show. You can find us on social media, specifically Instagram and TikTok at The Keeg Show. We're also on Facebook and Twitter at The Keeg Show. If you are listening to the podcast, that means you couldn't see our faces throughout the whole thing. I'd recommend checking out the live stream if you want to, you know. But our podcasts are Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So that's where you can find the podcast, whether it's this episode or any other episode that we've done in the past. This is the She-Hulk After Show. We did an Andor After Show a couple hours ago, and that's going to continue as long as Andor is going on. We got Comic Talk every Thursday afternoon. We talk about new comic releases, and then every other weekend we do where we do a different geek topic. So Black Adam is coming out in a week, so we're gonna be talking about that soon enough. Did this skip? Oh yeah, weirdly dropped a frame right now. All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Jess, so much for coming on. Thank you, Paul, once again for being co-host. Once again, I'm your host, Dimitri Pereira, and this has been the She-Hulk After Show, episode 9. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.